Hi everyone, it's Dr. Abby here, and today I want to talk to you about when not to assert yourself. What? I always tell you to assert yourself, to be assertive, but this time I'm going to tell you not to. Okay, and in my book I talk about roles that you play. So as a teacher, I would assert myself to guide and to teach my students. As a wife, I would assert myself so that my husband and I can accomplish our goals of running our household and raising our children. Okay, but sometimes you don't have a role. Okay, here's an example. You don't have a role to tell me that I should wear makeup or not wear a certain shade of lipstick. You don't. You can't tell me that I should wear my hair a certain way. No, you do not have a little badge that says fashion police. No one gave you that authority over me. So if you're that kind of person, you just kind of need to stop, okay? I'm going to just tell you right now. You have no role in other people's lives to do that, okay? Unless someone asks you for your advice, and then you are welcomed in to give that kind of advice. But there are people in this world who go around and who do that. And now I'm going to flip this, okay? For those of you who have that kind of thing told to them, okay? Someone's going to say this to you. You shouldn't take that job. You shouldn't have bought that car. You shouldn't have spent that money. You shouldn't be eating that food. You know what? Don't you dare let that bother you. Don't you dare. Those people don't have a role in your life unless you welcome them to your life to do that. A lot of us are addicted to caring about what people think of us. Yes, we were told growing up, what will people think? And there's a lot of good to that, because then we know that in certain environments, you should speak a certain way. Professionally in the workplace, a little bit nicer to the elderly, I guess, you know, and a little bit more nurturing to children. There are certain ways to speak in certain environments or to act in certain environments, but don't you tell me that I need to wear my hair a certain way. Okay, and I am totally speaking from experience. And the sad thing is that when I play back those scenes, I remember what I did. If you know me from when I was growing up, I cried a lot. I cried a lot because I took all of that toxic from other people and I just smeared it all over me, and I allowed it to just eat me up. At some point, I was able to see from a different perspective. And so what I want you to do now is I want you to rise above the scene. Look down at yourself and that person who's told you, oh my goodness, are you really going to eat that? And you tell yourself, you know what? That person doesn't have a role in my life, an authority in my life to be telling me what I should or shouldn't do. I make decisions for myself, for the best version of myself. And then you end up in that situation being the more noble, more mature person who can handle it without crying like I used to, and also without putting them down in a negative, aggressive way, or dealing with it in a passive way, like, oh, okay, all right, so here's how you do it. You say, I'm fine with what I'm wearing, or you change the subject, or you just say, this is what I decided to put on today. It may not sound like, woo, you put that person in their place, but you did, because you said anything. Because that person's not expecting you to speak back. And you're not being mean. You're just saying, this is what I've chosen to wear, or this is the meal that I'm eating today. Don't make an excuse. Don't try to defend yourself either. Like, oh, this is the only lipstick I had, or I didn't have time to pick up anything else, that's why I'm eating McDonald's. I mean, you make the decisions for yourself. Maybe you can be like, note to self, I probably shouldn't eat McDonald's for breakfast, lunch, and dinner 3 days in a row. and then make a decision. But you don't have to let somebody else boss you around and then be a slave to what other people expect. man, I just wish I could record this, go back in time and play it for myself. But I experienced it for whatever reason so that I could be here today to talk to you guys to help you. So this is how you assert yourself. Go read my book, learn the different techniques, and speak up, Anak.